Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Pew Time with Tony and the founding member. So we have I guess I'm an OG member of the old school team Thick Boys for USPSA and I suppose some 3-gun members, and this is Tim Dunderi, better known as Tanfo Timmy. What is up, my man?
Not too much. Been working like crazy, trying to put on the best matches I can for all the matches I can.
Which is a lot of matches, and I've yet to hear a bad thing about any match you've put on, dude. So
thank you. I try hard. You know, it's been really fulfilling.
Good. Well, for those of you that don't know Timmy, I'm going to give him a chance to kind of just introduce himself, what he's been doing, what type of shooting he does, how he became basically Tanfo Timmy. And in the circle of competitive shooters, most of us know who you are, or at least heard of you.
The famous or infamous, whichever way you want to look at it.
Hey, both of those say famous.
Yes, right. There's no such thing as bad publicity.
All right, give us a rundown. Who you are, like when did you get in the shooting? Just not your life story, but just enough to get people to know you.
So I started reloading hilariously before I started shooting, like 2017. Bought a pistol and like was goofing around. Oh, reloading is pretty cool. A buddy of mine at work did. And then big shout out to Chad Swartout. He's a 3-gunner. Works with Memorial Valor guys, Memorial 3-gun, but he was my coworker, worked right next to me. He was like, "Oh, you're doing all this reloading. Come shoot a competition." I was like, "Okay." So that was like late 2018. I shot my first match. They did kind of a new shooter intro, and the guy was pretty legit. He was like, "Hey, listen, this kind of favors speed over points because of how hit factor works." And I was like, "Say no more." So I tell a lot of people that come ask me, "Hey, how do I get better?" I'm like, you got to go fast. You can shoot alphas all day long, but if you're slow, it doesn't matter. So I like to say I've shot the same speed the whole time. Only recently, later in my career, I've been able to hit the things. But I dove right in pretty much right then and there. I took a Ben Stoger class in mid 2019, my first one. That was eye-opening. Really laid the groundwork for all the training and stuff. Really hit it hard, especially COVID. It was nice. Everything else was closed, so I just go to the range 3 or 4 days a week.
I think wasn't that the training summit?
Not the summit. It was just a regular like run of the mill fundamentals class at Ben Stoger that was hosted at Augusta, and it was in it was actually I think in October 2019. And we saw every form of precipitation in that match: rain, snow, sleet, you name it. It was horrible and terrible weather, but otherwise phenomenal instruction, and really gave me kind of a base level to start from. Get a ton of training. I think my peak was probably 2022 Nationals. I was 19th, I believe, at CO Nationals. Pretty happy with that. That coincides pretty closely with when I took over match directing in 2023 for the local club I'd been helping out. And I definitely have a lot less time to train. You know, I was talking with Luke Elwood, Asian Luke, Asian Luke Shoots, I think is his name. But my God, if I put the time into dry fire that I do into match directing right now, I'd be super squad again in no time. But I started at the kind of helping a lot at the club, became the club president for MAPSA. It's one of the oldest clubs in Minnesota. I think it's been around since the mid 80s. Really interesting, a lot of history there, really cool.
Nice.
And then just by that time, I had shot a lot of matches. I'd travel a couple of years. I'd travel like 10 or 12 majors a year. Did a lot of traveling and saw a lot of things that worked, a lot of things that didn't. A lot of things I liked, a lot of things I didn't like, learned a lot. And I just now constantly apply that in the matches I host. And it seems like it's working really well. You know, we're making a big impact and giving shooters a match that they want to shoot.
Yeah. What'd you start shooting? What gun?
I started with a Polymer 80 Glock with a red dot, and then somebody was like, "Oh, hey, that's not carry optics legal." So I put it back on the Glock stream. I'm like, "Well, this sucks." And then that was shortly before the Ben Stoker class, so I was like, "Oh, he probably can't be wrong." I found somebody that had a Tanfo and got to shoot it a little bit, and it fit my hands really well, and I dove right in right then and there. Kind of became the man, the myth, the meme, Tanfo Timmy. Um, they're fantastic guns. They feel like they've got a little bit of soul to them because it's like the Italian craftsmanship. No two are quite the same.
Yeah, that's a
Good and
very
bad
nice way
thing.
of putting it. It's craftsmanship. We say the same thing about old Italian cars around here. Don't worry.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
A nice note that the quality's gone up significantly since Italian Firearms Group down in Texas became the importer. So that's been really good, actually. Really, really enjoyable.
Nice. It has gone down dramatically, the amount of people I see shooting them, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what went. The market kind of went a little interesting. CZs all of a sudden got a lot cheaper. They kind of flipped places. Tanfos used to be like sub $1,000.
Yeah.
See, and the CZs were like the $1,300-$1,400, and all of a sudden they kind of switched places, which at least the quality's gone up on the Tanfos, like the build quality and finish and everything is there, but it's still it's hard sell when the Shadow 2's extremely similar, but $200, $300, $400 cheaper. So,
Cheaper, but it's hard to beat the feeling of a stock too. Like just the way it fits in a hand.
yeah, it was. I've got bigger hands, so it was kind of really a no-brainer. I felt the Shadow 2, and I hang like almost my whole pinky off of the Shadow 2. It's like, well, this doesn't work. This isn't designed for hands as big as mine. And I can at least fit my whole hand on the stock 2, so that was a really big plus.
Yeah.
They're also much simpler internally, so they tend to be more robust than the Shadow 2s.
Nice. Do you still do a lot of 3-gun or multi-gun?
I'm doing kind of more multi-guns. I kind of dabble. I've never really traveled to a 3-gun match specifically because we've got so much that we do here locally, which is a lot of fun. It's fun to kind of uncork and do the 3-gun time plus drag race type shooting where hits don't matter as long as they're on there.
Right. You guys are like, I mean, Minnesota is like the Forest Lake, I think, is the town. Like that area is basically the mecca for multi-gun, I think, in the US, period.
Yeah, like we've got a Wednesday night 3-gun match that's been going on for like uninterrupted for, don't misquote me, but like 10 years, 15 years. I'm shooting it tomorrow night just because I'm like, oh, I better make sure this distant shotgun works good, and I want to at least be somewhere above 50% at the match, but who knows if I have time to shoot the whole thing.
So dissonant shotgun, that means you're shooting open.
Only shoot open. Quad loading is for the birds, man.
All right.
I got a little story behind that if you want.
Okay. Yeah, let's hear it.
So the first year I worked multi-gun, it was at Forest Lake in 2023. I was still deep in USPSA, but I was like, hey, USPSA multi-gun. A handful of my buddies were working the match, and they said, hey, come help out staff the match. I'm like, sure, whatever. So, oh, this looks pretty cool. And then I see Nils Jonathan come through, crush with a pistol, crush with a rifle. He goes through a shotgun, and then he just dominates with it. He's shooting a tube gun, so I'm not sure what division he was in at the time. But then when he couldn't make quad loading look like cool and fast, I was like, okay, I'm never going to try quad loading. So,
if he can't do it.
I mean, according to everybody else, he did it extremely fast and well, but I'm like, it still looks like you're trying to strangle a giraffe. Like,
right. Yeah, there's no way that's faster than just switching mags.
Yep. So the Dissident was a game changer. Get into those, and it's an absolute riot to shoot.
Awesome. So what's your rifle setup for it?
I got just kind of a home build, a lot of arrow parts, but unrivaled brake, buffer, and lightweight bolt carrier. I stuck a JT bolt in it because they're local and they make great parts, so that worked out well. And then just Superlative Arms gas block and like I think it's a CMC trigger, but it's a super lightweight. That's what I was going for in 2-gun, at least PCSL 2-gun. And I kind of just dragged that over to 3-gun because we don't have any really long distances up here.
Mhm.
Like we're not out in Texas where we shoot 700 yards. I'll make you shoot a C-zone target at 400 yards after running around, but I don't think the rifle barrel and all that doesn't really come into play for the multi-gun I tend to shoot.
Okay. Okay. And now, what most people will want to know: break down your Tanfo. What's your setup for your? You still shoot a stock 2, or are you shooting a stock master?
I'm back to the stock 2s, thankfully. Actually, I shot the stock masters for like 2 years. They're a fantastic production gun. They're really, really, really soft shooting. But in fact, they're so soft shooting that I felt like I was waiting on the gun sometimes when you get into that really fast, close, aggressive shooting. And I tried a lot of bullet weights and I could never quite get it as snappy as I wanted to. So we went back to the stock 2 and it's just like it was when I left. It's awesome. So
Yeah.
it's the Tampo stock 2, the Patriot Defense, super aggressive grips. I'm running the Vortex Defender XL2 MOA, and Patriot Defense does the trigger job. They do a phenomenal job. If I feel like being spicy, I can throw like a 10-pound hammer spring in it and get a 4-pound double action and a sub 2-pound single. But after COVID, I usually run like a 14-pound hammer spring, so it's not primer sensitive.
Yeah. 10-pound hammer spring, dude. You're federal only at that point, basically.
And I mean, I still only use Federals for match ammo, but it's like bouncing back and forth and trigger weights is just dumb. So
Yeah.
I just went up in hammer weight and stayed there. And like many things, as you get better, you learn that some of these gun hacks it's a crutch.
Yep.
You know, it's going to cover up your abilities and your issues rather than making you better.
It's amazing how quickly we learn that, and then we look back and go, "Why did I ever think?"
I've got a whole box full of those type of mistakes, man.
All right. Well, stock 2. Do you have a special stock 2? Do you use one of like Patriot's crazy ported ones for like 2-gun and stuff?
I've got a stock master that they did their compensator cut. They call it El Campo. They normally do it on the 10 mils that they sell in that, and it's really cool. But they did it on one of my stock masters, and I use that in 2-gun and 3-gun. I load some 115 grain brass monkey bullets at just about 9 major power.
Nice.
If I don't need the major scoring, I'll load them probably 150 power factor to run that comp. But I've pushed it to major for a couple local matches, and it's pretty fun. So that's kind of a side quest at some point, is to get some major ammo and actually make open GM, but still with like a slide ride dot.
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. All right, let's jump into your training and your practice. I know it's a little less now because you are more match director Timmy now than competitor Timmy. But what's your practice? What do you still like to get done for practice? Live fire, dry fire. What's it look like for you?
The dry fire is kind of sparse here and there, but if I'm going to a major or a bigger match, I'll look through a match book, maybe see any weird start positions, anything that differs pretty significantly from like the ordinary stuff you're used to, your kind of your bread and butter, and work that in a couple times a week. My favorite, if I do get a chance to practice still, is just I'll build a small stage, maybe 10 to 20 rounds a steel, and then I'll sit and I'll pick that stage apart. I'll run it every different possible way, starting up front, starting in the back, over in the left, unloaded, loaded, just so you're not doing the same thing time after time. Because eventually you just kind of memorize it and you're going faster in the stage because you've shot it 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of bounce around. And if I'm doing that and I identify something that's like, hey, that's really difficult, I keep throwing deltas at that target, I'll kind of break that little piece of the stage off and just drill on that for 10 minutes and kind of try to figure out where it's falling apart. And then mid-season, if I have like video from major matches, I'll try and watch it within a week after the match, so it's still really fresh. So you can sit there and say, hey, I remember that position in that stage. It was really hard. And duplicate that in training to really work on that. You just try to identify your shortcomings and beat on them with live ammo, preferably, until they're not shortcomings. live fire is way more fun than dry fire, man. That was always my forte.
Oh yeah, for sure. Do do you do any like multi-gun specific training? Do you dry fire or live fire the rifle?
Yeah, I'll do some dry fire with the rifle. I usually don't know that I've ever dry fire reloaded the rifle because generally I'm in open. I got big mags for a reason.
Yeah, yeah, drums for life.
Yep, only shoot open, mostly just because the shotgun part. But I have been pushing hard for probably the last month with the shotgun because those reloads are definitely different. You got to get really specific with where to grab the mag and got to be pretty aggressive, and it's really fun. And I would like to put up some good video of me destroying stuff with a shotgun. So I've been working on that. Um, there's a little bit of gun transition stuff you can do. It's like I've got a bigger garbage can in the garage that I can put a cushion in and go kind of work on the rifle to pistol transition, or the dump one long gun, pick up another one. It's a little bit here and there. It's not doing it a ton, but mostly we tend to run a lot of matches. So if we're there setting up for a match, I'll bring a couple guns, get there early, rip off 50 or 100 rounds at the hardest possible target I can create, and call it good.
Okay. And now we're going to start moving into, so basically your practice is when I can squeeze it in, because the next thing we're going to talk about is match directing, which has kind of all encompassed you in a big way in probably what, the last 3 years, like big time.
Yeah, yep. I would say about 3 years since when I kind of took over and saw what was possible, what I could do with the club and the matches, and I've just dove right into that with similar enthusiasm as I did the shooting.
So did you start just by taking over the local match? Like start us where you decided to like take match directing on.
Yeah, I would say I have no concept of time in some of that, but 2021, 2022, the one closest club to me, I'd be like, oh, I can go help set up. So I'd help set up, and it's like, hey, can I design any stages for you guys? They're like, oh, totally, please.
Yeah.
So I started reading into that, and yeah, like that's what I beg people in my matches. Send me a stage, even if it's terrible. It's an original idea, and I can make it not terrible. But I just started helping out more and more. And the one guy that was the president after that season when I really helped out, I think it was 21, 22. He was kind of like, I think you're ready to be president, Timmy. I'm like, I don't think I'm ready. He's like, there's never a better time than now. So I kind of said, okay, then if not me, then who, as the saying goes.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just kind of dove right in. Like our club started as a pretty small club. It's kind of been the underdog club. It hasn't really had its own range. It's been established at like 5 different ranges in the state. So it's kind of weird. In late 22. So when I started it, we had moved to Forest Lake Sportsman's Club. So we used to be at a different range, bad flood vibes, all that stuff. We said, screw you guys, we're leaving. But we started at Forest Lakes. Now, hilariously, there's 2 USPSA clubs that operate out of Forest Lake. So the one I run, MAPSA, Metro Area Practical Shooting, and then Forest Lake Practical Shooting. But it's been really, really good for the club, like I obviously am kind of really almost not quite a dictator, but I'm pretty much almost solely responsible for like the MAPSA happenings. I have a couple other guys that make up our club board of directors, but they're definitely okay not being quite as involved as I am, which I don't mind. I like being in control and being able to make the end product as good as I want it to be. So, I mean, it leads me to having set up stages almost alone a handful of times in the past, stuff like that, just because if you want good stuff, you need to do good stuff. But
And that much was apparent, which would be the last two years, I think. You had the Northwood Showdown.
Yep.
And
yeah,
was your first major USPSA that you were running?
Technically, it was still a level 1 this year, but I think it was
okay.
I think it was.
It's a level 1, but everyone I talk to is like, yeah, it's a level 2, like level 2 vibes.
Yeah, we try to make it better than USPSA Nationals. Like we're putting it kind of first started like, hey, I want to do a bigger match, and my primary focus was and still is on the stages and the shooter experience. So like this year we did really well with like sponsorship and prize table stuff, but that's never been my first priority. Like I'm gonna make kind of the best, most interesting stages I can make. And that's where my time and effort goes into primarily. And then shooter experience, like little amenities. Like as much as we want to avoid shooting matches being like a consumer culture thing, that's still kind of how it is. Like these people are customers. You got to treat them well. If you can treat them well, why shouldn't you? So that's kind of my whole motivation there.
Yeah, I want you to take this as a compliment, because that's what it's meant as. When I describe you to people that are kind of local here that know more of the people like in the Illinois, Wisconsin area, I'm like, Timmy is the Minnesota version of Eric Camps.
I know. I see Eric. Eric's pretty awesome. I could see the connection there.
Yeah, well, and just your love for the sport and making sure that like it succeeds through good matches. You drive people to want to help you. You get people more involved to make it better, because you cast your vision out, and then all these people are like, holy shit, that sounds awesome. Let me go help them. And then those people get involved, and then it takes the burden off you. But much like Eric, you decide, that's not enough. Now that I have help, a little help, I'm going to do more. And that more is kind of the reason that we're actually having this conversation today. Is you are the new match director for USPSA Multigun Nationals. Tell us about it, because that's
we delve into. It's a big one. It was kind of surprised me too that I would even be considered. I guess I've certainly had my back and forth with USPSA over the years. Like I told you earlier, I decided to work on fixing the problem rather than just complaining about it. It's been working pretty well. It's pretty awesome. So I kind of took over the match director job primarily just first because my home club, Forest Lake Sportsman's Club, is contracted to host this match. So it's like, it's important to the club. It's important to me that the match goes well. It represents my club, Forest Lake, me, a lot of different things. So with my name on it, I'm going to give it the standard treatment that I would give any of my matches. We're gonna have the production factor there. We're gonna have really detailed quality stages. Schedules are gonna hopefully be perfectly on time, things like that, which is a whole animal for multi-gun. Oh man. But
yeah, basically times the design and headaches by 3.
Yes. Very much so.
You've been posting a lot of the stages, or at least designing them. I'd imagine they're not done and approved yet, because multi-guns, oh shit, it's coming up.
No, yeah, it's very soon. It's like 3 weeks out, I think.
Oh, I don't know why I thought it was further in the year.
No, so yeah, they were approved and all that, and I kind of ran it by USPSA. Said, hey, I want to do this because I can use practice sim and do virtual walkthroughs and like share the practice sim files with competitors if they want to learn to open them and stuff. And USPSA was like, yeah, that's totally fine. That's awesome. I'm like, excellent. So even collaborated with USPSA's Instagram page. It's practice sim has been a huge tool for me. Like I know some people stage construction, like they'll make a quick sketch or have an idea and they go to the range and just grab parts and build it. But I'll take and I'll make the stage and I'll do like 90% of the debugging in practicing. I've got scaled versions of my bays. Everything's props are to scale, so I can build it in that. And then we build it to the diagram, and it requires extremely minimal work once it's built to get it perfect.
That's awesome.
So and then I'm able to share that with the competitors. I started doing stuff like that for my local matches because I like to show people what they're getting for their money.
Right.
Nothing's worse than paying all that money for a big match and showing up and you're like, wow, this is what I paid for.
Oh man, no wonder. I can't believe I didn't realize it was that soon. No wonder you're chugging Monster at fucking 6 at night.
right?
How many stages is multi-gun nats?
It will be 12 stages.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't seem that crazy, but like there's a 60 round pistol stage. There's like the basically to give it a better idea, the match is the time schedule is in like hour and a half blocks.
Okay.
So we'll definitely have stage times in the 60 to 70 seconds on some stages. The three guns make it very large and so 12 stages I think is quite a bit still for a multi-gun match.
Well, especially because I think it was one of the stages I saw you just put up. You designed it to where one stage, every position will have to be shot with every platform.
Oh, was it possibly that smaller stage?
Yeah.
I think stage 9. That was my take on like a USPSA speed shoot, but multi-gun,
which is
so
awesome. And I cannot imagine the headache.
It's gonna be so cool.
All right, yeah, dude, I'm looking. So walk us through something like that, because to be honest, there was a little more crossover like way back when. I think when three gun had its heyday, but three gun is really kind of fallen the wayside of like two gun.
Yeah, very much.
But it's not. You don't get a lot of USPSA guys that go over to multi-gun and like, hey, let me put some of our speed flavor into here, because I mean we're fast too. I mean, but we just have to have we have slightly better accuracy standards.
Yeah, that's an interesting dichotomy. Like getting the core three gun guys to like USPSA multi-gun has definitely been a big project. Like I was so starting with Multigun Nationals last year, I was a lot more involved. Previously, I just like worked as a regular stage staff during the match. So last year, I was the assistant match director and kind of brought a lot of my knowledge and like structure and rigidity you'll see in a typical USPSA match, and I brought it to kind of the multi-gun side because, hey, three gunners, they're kind of fly by night, build it as you see it kind of groups. They're hardworking and they're so nice, but the planning suffers a little bit, especially when it comes to a big giant match. So brought some of that expertise in, and they were really, really happy kind of with stage flow and scheduling and just a lot of little things that I did. So we're putting that on a big scale this year, and we're showing them that we're listening to them. Like I'm also on the USPSA rules committee now, so I'm kind of bringing a multi-gun voice to that, so I can say to the shooters at Multigun Nationals, say, hey, what do you guys like? What don't you like? What do you want me to bring to this committee? What can I do for you guys?
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun. And yeah, I kind of lost wherever else we were going.
No, dude, that's like, it's funny. You made it sound like you're the caveman that showed them fire. They're like, oh, planning.
A tiny bit, at least in this specific sense. I'm not speaking for any other matches that I haven't been to, but
okay. So how was it designing that stage? Like, what were the biggest differences for that particular one that you took your USPSA thinking and applied it to multi-gun?
okay, so that one, it's all three guns. I kind of really wanted to channel a typical like USPSA short course, which would be like 12 rounds or less, 3 positions. So you got 3 guns, so you really got to start kind of stacking those layers on each other. And when you get more guns in the mix, the stage plans get harder and harder. Obviously, you got a lot more to think about. So you got to be really careful with your kind of granular level of difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
So if I made every single gun have positions like a USPSA stage would, it would be an extremely difficult stage, which we didn't really want. So some of the shooting is much easier. A lot of the pistol targets are pretty open. There's like 1 or 2 positional targets, just enough to kind of make you go, ooh, be careful there. The shotgun stuff is still pretty fast and close, but there's one plate that's 25 yards, so you'll have to make sure you're appropriately choked up for that, so you can knock that over. And then like the rifle, I mixed in some half-size IPSC targets. We got CHL to start making those this year for us, but we're gonna judiciously use those to kind of up the rifle difficulty because it's going into a world shoot year.
Yeah.
So I kind of just put all 3 of those together and wanted to make it so you could always be shooting.
Mhm.
You can draw a plan and say, hey, I'm going to go here, shoot the stuff on the way in, pick up the other gun, shoot my way out to the other side, pick up the last gun, and shoot my way back. Like it should be just a constant symphony of shooting in the stage if you're doing it well.
Okay. Do you have any big visions or big plans for multi-gun? Assuming this isn't, I would imagine this is with the matches that you put on. I don't see this being the only year you're the match director for multi-gun. So I think you're going to have a little bit longer tenure. Do you have a plan for going forward, like what you would like to see multi-gun turn into?
Um, I know for a fact we have it again next year. It's contracted with our range. So I definitely express, say, hey, I'm willing to run it next year if you so want me to, and all that. I guess I don't have an overarching vision beyond just making it the best match I can make it. I've never really thought too far into kind of the future of it. I like to kind of stay in the moment and just say bigger and better next time every time.
Okay.
So there's been some question like, hey, do we want to look into keeping this here longer, like re-upping a contract? But um, I'm not sure what the other people want to do. There's a lot of other people involved, kind of on the admin side and work side. We get really lucky with a big local scene, so they're extremely helpful too. But
Mhm.
I would certainly do it again if they would so elect me to do it.
What would you say before we jump up to the next big topic? What would you say, or what would you do to bring in more USPSA focus guys to at least come and once a year make multi-gun nationals like their multi-gun match to shoot? Because a lot of people think it's really daunting, like the shotgun thing for sure. There's no doubt about that. But like, I guess spell it out. Like it's not crazy. I mean, there's a lot more to think. The stage plans are way different, but kind of
Yeah.
give us a glimpse, like give someone some hope that you could show up to a multi-gun nationals and still have a good time.
I would say first that centers kind of around the general attitude I've seen in three gun that everybody is extremely kind, extremely helpful. Like my first three gun match, I had four people fighting over whose shotgun I was going to shoot at the first three gun match. Like, you know, he's going to shoot mine. So like the people are so helpful, and that makes it so easy to get into. But think of it if you've ever shot a two gun match. To my USPSA people, okay, think of a two gun match. Go shoot a two gun match. You get your feet wet. The stages are a little bigger, a little more complex, but if done well, they're not too much more complex. And then you kind of add a third one in there. You definitely want to take your time with the walkthroughs. The stage planning in three gun kind of becomes shoot what you can see from here and then go to here. You can't get quite as visually detailed as you would in a USPSA like pistol only match. So you got to bring that in your mind the whole time. Like, hey, let's make a simple plan and execute it. And if you execute it well with no mistakes, it's going to still be a pretty solid score, which kind of I found out my first year of really trying and shooting multi-gun. It's like, hey, I did pretty well when I stuck to the plan and didn't mess it up. Because like we're fast and we're hit factor guys already coming out of USPSA.
Right. Okay. So do you think with minimal practice with the other ones, if you're just roughly familiar with rifle and shotgun, do you think you could show up to multi-gun nets and still have,
Yeah,
a good showing?
you would have an absolute riot.
Yeah.
Like the three gunners are what makes the match so fun. Because we get to do some cool stuff you don't get to do in like tried and true USPSA pistol. There's a little more leeway in what we can shoot and how we can shoot it. The shotgun part is honestly the most fun part, in my opinion. Everything you shoot with a shotgun either blows up, goes flying away, or turns into dust. Like it's just the carnival experience when you're shooting shotgun. So that's truly the most fun part. That's why a lot of guys shoot opens because they get to shoot those box spread shotguns.
Which are dope. I've shot two shotgun matches in my life, and they were some of the most fun I had. One was with a Benelli, and the other one was with a box fed gun. And man,
Yeah.
it was like, listen, I will say my shoulders never hurt so bad after a match. It had nothing to do with the recoil. It had to do with trying to like run and like turn up range or this, holding that shotgun with a 20 round mag, one armed.
Yep.
I was not expecting that when I was done. I'm like, oh my, yeah, this hurts. Like they're sore. And yeah, because you're carrying like a 30-pound gun. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. The loaded mag weighs as much as the gun.
How many shooters are showing up to Multigun Nats?
It looks like we have about 130.
Oh, okay.
So
You still
not
have
as,
room?
not as much. We certainly have put a lot of thought in trying to figure out what drives that. You know, there's a couple of really big 3-gun matches across the country, but there's not like what there used to be. So 3-gun's definitely seeing a decline.
Yeah.
We're not quite sure what the cause is. We were trying to talk and figure it out with people, but 2 guns become so easy to shoot that it's a kind of a no-brainer if that's what you're into.
Sure.
So, but really, people come out and try the shotgun side, and they'll definitely find it very enjoyable.
Do you guys have slots still? If someone wanted to jump in last minute?
Yeah, we do. I think we've probably, based even with our conservative squad matrix, we've got probably 10 spots open that are already built into the squad matrix that we could fit without opening a new squad.
Okay. Cool. So if you want to, you can. That's going to be July 17th through the 19th, right?
Yep.
And it is I want to say 350 is about, right?
Yep. Still one of the cheaper USPSA Nationals, which is cool.
Yeah, it hurts to say that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Golly. All right. Well, if you guys do want to shoot it, I highly recommend going to Practice Score. Just type in multi-gun and take a look. They do have some unique rules as far as like shot size for your shotgun guys. So if you're going to buy ammo, I think you guys limited it to like number 7, I think.
Yep. We're in a really populated area, so we definitely got to keep the shot size small so it doesn't go far. But that's generally been a non-issue.
Okay. And then any rifle ammo would be fine, and your normal pistol stuff, and you probably have some slugs, I would assume.
Yep. I think we have 2 slug steel and then a total of, I think, 6 paper that are slug a pistol option. But generally, we make them to try to get you to slug them because slugs are fun.
Yeah. Yes, they are. Awesome. All right. So the multi-gun thing was kind of just you released a little PSA that gave us 2 big things that happened for you. Match director for Multigun Nationals, but also the match director for the, I don't know what the proper name would be. Is it the USPSA Rifle Qualifying match?
So it's a USPSA single gun rifle match.
Okay.
So it still kind of effectively uses the USPSA multi-gun rules because there's a rifle involved. But it's a qualifying match where your score is recorded and tracked for contention to be picked for the U.S. team for the 2028 IPSC Rifle World Shoot.
Which is going to be where in 2018?
It will be in Mongolia. So that's
Okay.
an interesting, spicy little meatball there. But
Yeah. All right. Holy cow. So this is kind of a big deal because up until this point, we really have never had it. We've always looked at the 3-gun world, which unfortunately we just talked about it kind of on the decline. So we've never really had an avenue to highlight like what we have with our pistol nationals, who our best rifle shooters are and who should represent Team USA for World Shoot Rifle. That's what this is going to help fix.
yeah, effectively, this is the qualifying system. There will be a series of matches. I think there's at least 4 this year.
Okay.
They'll record your score, your best 3 scores out of the 4, or however many you shoot, will go into the kind of the pool. And I believe there's going to be 1 or 2 next year also. So kind of your cumulative simple majority of scores. Whoever has the highest generally gets picked first for the world shoot teams.
Okay. Is this a separate match than nationals?
Yes, it is. It is completely separate. It uses the same. We're using the same range. Obviously, we've got 4 bays that 3 bays because there's 2 short courses in one bay because it's IPSC and they love their short courses.
Yes, they do.
So it's I don't get it, man. I like medium. Short courses are fun, but then they're short, and I like more of them.
Right.
But so it's completely separate. So you can shoot just that, or you can shoot that and nationals. If you DQ at the rifle match, you don't DQ from nationals. So that's kind of why we did that. So it wasn't interconnected, and it's just kind of almost a supply and demand. Like if we weren't going to do it, there would hardly be any of the rifle matches. So we want to assist people. Like we did a similar thing with the Shotgun World Shoot in Greece this year. We did I think we did 2 separate qualifier matches for the Shotgun World Shoot team, and we've got a number of Minnesota guys going to the Shotgun World Shoot. It's just phenomenal. So
yeah, you guys going to do that again? Probably in the future. That system seems to work pretty well.
Yep, we've actually got, I think it's on the schedule, a PCC World Shoot qualifier match happening sometime next year at Forest Lake.
Okay.
So I'm not quite sure on the dates yet, but we'll have a qualifier match for IPSC PCC. So
that's cool. All right, you're going to have to walk me through it because in IPSC Rifle, there are 4 divisions. There's semi-auto open, semi-auto standard, manual action contemporary, and manual action bolt.
So hilariously, I don't really know any of that. I've got a range master that knows that stuff.
That is the correct answer for any match director. Well, the range master is going to be there, so
yes, humorously, I just focused on building good stages. I watched 4 hours of video from the previous Rifle World Shoot in Finland. Tried to channel some of that kind of stuff into some rifle stages to give them some IPSC flavor and some realistic things they might encounter. And yeah, we printed pictures. Like there's kind of an IPSC default rifle position where you're holding your rifle with the stock touching your hip, the barrel's parallel to the ground.
right.
So none of this super gamer stock on belt stuff. But I definitely didn't research the divisions because I'm counting on my excellent range master for that part. But I suppose now I'll do some reading after tonight.
Well, I'm gonna watch videos because I would love to see some USPSA stages run with a bolt gun.
Oh man, I follow some Australians on Instagram and it's super cool. They're running like it's kind of a bolt shotgun. It's like a straight pull, but it's a shotgun. And most of the time he's like shooting one hand because he's coming on and off the bolt. It's really interesting what they do in a lot of the countries where they're so restricted on firearms.
Yeah, my YouTube algorithm is going to be fucked up by the end of the night.
Oh yeah.
All right, so you're basically reusing. I don't want to say reusing the stages. Stages are going to be different.
Yeah, there will be completely separate stages. They will only be used for the rifle qualifier.
Okay.
So we had just the way the bays laid out. We had just enough. We had 3 bays not being used from multi-gun. So we did double short course in one, then a medium course in one, and a long course, and then a stand and shoot in the other bay. So we actually have 5 stages.
Okay. You shooting it?
If I have time. It's going to be kind of a fast and busy week. I have no idea. It shouldn't take too long because obviously it's on the smaller side. So I'm definitely going to try just to see because I enjoy rifle shooting a lot. I'm not incredibly good at it, but I find it enjoyable because it's kind of a new challenge after shooting so much pistol for the last 8 years.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Where are the other ones being held? Do you know? Are they like spread out through the nation?
There was one recently in California, I think.
Okay. I thought they were spread out. I thought they had like Midwest, like South, and then East and West, I thought.
Yeah, there was one, I know, Sioux City over in the Carolinas. They had issues with the venue. So I think it might have got postponed. And I don't know if it's getting rescheduled. So they're not doing well. So then this our rifle qualifier becomes that much more valuable to the people that want to qualify, obviously.
Sure. Well, I just looked it up. What are you capping the match at?
The rifle qualifier?
Mhm. How many shooters?
We've basically got an entire full squad. I'm not quite sure what we would cap it at, because it's, if we needed to, we could open more squads. So it's just kind of well, like right now we've only got like 2 squads in it, so not a lot of attendance. But it's kind of a fit in. A lot of the PM shooters at Multigun will shoot the rifle qualifier in the AM on Saturday, and then they'll go shoot their PM Multigun stuff, and then vice versa for the PM. Then we've got one squad of like kind of standalone people that aren't shooting Multigun, that are shooting it on Thursday.
Okay.
So we definitely have room for people if they're interested. The match fee was a little higher because it was kind of not my decision. I didn't make the matches on the interwebs there, so I'm kind of just trying to provide people value and cool stages for their money.
I mean, it's only $150.
Yeah, I guess I've always
a lot of stages, but
yeah, I've looked at matches a little differently than some people. Like I've kind of not arguing, but I tell the range brass, like my board of directors president and stuff. I'm like, my first priority in a match isn't to make money; it's to put on the best match humanly possible.
Right.
So we've definitely gone back and forth a little bit. I'm like, you're right. We don't need all that stuff. It's reasonable. We could.
Okay.
So I want to give people as much as I can for their money. So we definitely pulled some interesting stages out. The practice impiles and stuff are on the page. I got to turn those in. Or no, the WSBs are on the rifle qual match page. But
okay. Very cool. I wonder if I have a bolt gun that fits into this. It sounds so interesting.
Right? I'd have to read up on that. I've done some local like PCSL rule carbine matches. Are more kind of a fun match.
Yeah.
The most recent one we just did was Rumble in the Jungle. It was a Vietnam themed match. So I have a division called Clone Direct. If you're shooting something that is an approximation of something that was fielded in the Vietnam War, you qualify for this division, you can shoot it. So there's people with 30-06 M1s. The guy had a 30 carbine. Like,
that's awesome.
It's a 30 cal, a 308 FAL. Like, it's very cool because a lot of people, they don't get to shoot these guns very often. So I do matches like that, and people have an absolute blast.
Yeah, that's you are bringing the vintage racing world to shooting sports.
Right?
Maybe I'll fix up no, there's no way. I have a Nambu pistol that could fit in there quite nicely, but no way I could find mags or enough ammo for that.
Got a guy shooting a 10mm Glock that was some sort of rifle, I guess, because it had a rifle stock. So in one of the divisions, and I was like, hey man, that looks like a riot to shoot. I don't think he did too well on the stage with like 100-yard steel, but I think he had fun otherwise.
Well, that is the important part. Well, dude, did we miss anything? I think that's all I got for you on the match directing stuff.
I think so. I could probably drag on about all sorts of stuff, but any questions you have, I'm more than happy to.
When is Northwoods next year?
Will be the same first weekend in May.
Oh, okay.
Let me click down the calendar. Of course, Peter would pick down.
Just quickly becoming a must-attend match from everyone I know.
And that was absolutely my goal with it. Like the first year I did it, I was like, hey, this was really cool. I got a chance to make a difficult match. Like, I don't want to make my local matches quite this difficult because it's hard. You show up and your second match ever is Northwoods or this difficult. You're like, whoa, but at least if it's a bigger match, people have an idea what they're getting into. And yeah, and then so we do a lot of things. We do the cash payouts. That's been a big one. Like, sure, we could pocket that money as the club, but I'd rather give it back to the shooters. Like, the top shooters are going to win the money. I've heard people complain, like, you already know who's going to win it. I'm like, well, we pay out to 7th place in carry optics and limited optics this year. Like, it's just a cool way to give them back something and bring in the high level shooters that are interested.
Yeah, that's. I really hope I can get my schedule aligned with it to be able to shoot it next year, because a lot of the Chicago guys went up there and shot it and had an absolute blast at it.
Oh, they're the funnest squad to be around too. I'll go run into them on a stage, the whole squad of Chicago guys, and there's never a dull moment with them.
That's true. Well, I did ask for questions from people, and we did get some submitted. So I hope you're ready.
Ready as I'll ever be.
All right. So first one, what are the key principles of good stage design?
A
So you
big
thought some of
thing.
these are stupid. Like some of these are hard hitting questions, dude.
That's good, man. I like that because I put a lot of thought into stage design. Never put a target somewhere if it's not doing anything. If it doesn't make you do anything, like you see a lot of stages where they have 2 or 3 targets in one spot. It's like that doesn't do anything more than the first target in that position did. Kind of not necessary unless you're kind of really specifically creating a hoser stage, which is fun now and then. Use the shooting area. Make a reason to go to different parts of the shooting area, and then kind of fill in between. That's how you can get stages that blend a lot. Say, hey, oftentimes the way I start designing a stage is I will make a weird shape shooting area, right? Just the fault line on the ground and practice him, and then I'll make stuff that will make people go to the different spots in this shooting area, and then I can drop little bits in between and let, hey, this will probably be able to blend that coming through, and it all just kind of works itself out. Don't be afraid to try different things too, you know.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to verbalize all the things, but
Next question. How do I become an L10 GM?
probably have to get a 40 cal stock too because it shot so incredibly well. Like I can split that 40 cal stock too harder than my 9mm, and like bullet holes are touching. Like something with the spring rate, the weight of the gun, the cyclical, all of that stuff. It was just so fun. I could just point at a target and squirt 2 bullets at it. I'm getting the bullets are almost touching. Like I liked the way it shot so much that I took the grips and the mag well off that gun and put it on my 9mm stock too. And I'm shooting limited optics this year because I love the way it feels in my hand with the magwell kind of forces my hand into the beaver tail. But otherwise, practice reloading. That's a really important thing in limited 10.
Yeah, harkens back
brutal.
to the very loved production 10. Those were the days.
Right.
All right, let's see. When creating your stages, what process or idea do you start with?
Oh, kind of covered that a little, but the basis I will, if I'm coming up with something brand new, I'll try and think of, hey, where do I want to make people go? Side to side in a bay, up and down, kind of start with that general idea of what do I want to make them do. And then I'll generally build a shooting area in some various shape, just roughly, doesn't have to be crazy. And then I'll make specific things that'll make them go, hey, to this up top right corner of the shooting area, make them so they gotta go to the bottom left. And then you can kind of let it freestyle in the middle, you know? I like to leave a lot of options if possible. So you can put a lot of things in the middle, like, hey, they could shoot some of that from the middle, they could shoot some of that from either end, but not all from one end or not all from the middle. And with practicing, you have like a virtual walkthrough, so you can really fine tune it. And a fun thing I like to do is try to picture one step of distance and then make targets available only slightly farther than that. So you have to take like a step and a half. That's a fun way to make stages just really spicy, but really easily, yes. Because hey, like, okay, everybody would love, if you want to blend, take one step, another target, cool, fun. But in the middle of all that, you just do something that's just a little farther.
Mm-hmm. When you do your stage design like that, do you think of like themes of like, hey, this is going to be a real physical stage, this is going to be more precision based stage, or do you just kind of
Occasionally, sometimes I try to just kind of let it happen, and weird stuff happens and it's awesome. But sometimes I will approach something with something in mind, like, hey, I'm going to start this off with two pieces of steel at 20 yards and a paper at 25 yards and make you really earn that and then kind of do that. But I don't really stick to one like overarching theme on a stage ever. There'll kind of be a little bit in between because I like to try to make a little bit of everything. If you do all of one thing in a stage, it gets a little weird. I had a stage recently. It was actually a design a friend of mine sent me, and I kind of tuned it up and made it Canfo Timmy, whatever you want to call what I do to it. But it had some really long shooting in the back, so I just cleaned that up and added some close, fast shooting in the front, kind of in the beginning of the stage, and it made it a really interesting variety. You know what I mean? You're coming off of these 5-yard targets that you just squirted bullets at, didn't even look, red dot on brown, and then you got a couple run 3 yards into a corner where you've got a 20-yard mini popper and a 15-yard tux. You're just like, whoa, the mental gear change was incredible. But
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty good. One of the stage designers from Northern Illinois is the one that asked that. So he's already started for next year. So he's
nice.
Pretty excited.
And as I end up doing for a lot of people, like, shoot me a message. I'll gladly share a stage or two for your major, make you one. I really enjoy doing that. So.
With all your extra free time?
I don't have any, but when over the winter, ideally, is if I like when the shooting season wraps up, obviously, because I live in a frozen shithole for 6 months out of the year. We do a lot of things in the winter. We load all the ammo I hope to shoot in the year, like from November to February. Ammo loading time, stage design time. Try to do a lot of those things when you can't really do outside things.
Yes, we kind of get that. We're not a frozen tundra like you are, but sometimes we can be.
Leaks over there once in a while, right?
Yeah. All right. Last question. Do you think minor power factor open guns will ever take the place of major in open division?
I don't think they will, because regardless of what you do to a minor gun, the major scoring and the way the gun shoots is just faster, plain and simple. Like, yeah, I can shoot a 9 minor gun really well, but that major scoring you get from a major gun, I don't think minor's going to take its place. Maybe somebody will have the creativity to kill major, and then obviously it's all minor. But I don't think minor would usurp major in open. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So I'll tack on to this question. Do you think we are on the cusp of having an open minor division? Like one that's tailored to like slide ride optic guns with like a single port comp, or something that's tailored to the minor comped guns?
I don't. Nothing that I've heard. I don't really think anything's being thought about, but it's not a terrible idea. There's
So you like the
the
idea?
whole. Yeah, I mean, I shoot a comped 9 minor gun. It's a freaking riot. It's a blast. Like, look at how many more guns are coming comped with red dots nowadays, brand new. Like, it's definitely a market. You gotta eventually, or ultimately, we've got to appeal to the things people like.
Yep.
So it's not completely out of the realm of something like that. I'm curious to see which direction it would go, but I definitely wouldn't be against it. Kind of the whole, it goes counter to all the people that say, "Oh, kill revolver, kill single stack. Those divisions are dead." I'm like, but who do they hurt? Like,
Yeah. I've always argued that those two divisions, leave them alone.
yeah, they're not hurting you by existing.
No.
What do you have against them? Is my opinion. I don't want to shoot them, but I don't care if other people do. So
Right.
like,
Limited 10.
I had a lot of fun. It was type 2 fun most of the time, but I had a lot of fun shooting limited 10, man. There was no boring stages in limited 10. Oh, I would love to blend this part if I had more than 2 bullets right now. It's a lot of that.
So what would the what would the new open? What the hell would we call it?
I think we'd have to go something actual, like to paraphrase on PCSL, actual carry pistol, like do something smaller. Like, hey, have a size limit so you can't have like a full size 2011. But I mean, those are pretty popular too. But
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff with comps and ports coming out new is kind of a more compact size carry gun to obviously mitigate the recoil of a snappy little gun. God, what could you call it? Like, I wish I had major power factors division. I don't know. It's an interesting idea. It's certainly a smart thing to think about for the future of USPSA and its divisions.
Sure. Well, what would the trade off be though? Because I mean, you wouldn't want to go any bigger than 140s, right? You don't want to give them 170s because that's crazy.
Yeah, no, I think you do 140s and maybe you have to be shooting concealed. Oh, that becomes IDPA.
That is IDP. They have a division.
I know, right?
And actually, if you make it 10 rounds only, that is exactly IDPA.
Well, we don't want to do 10 rounds only. We got a division for that already.
So we do 15. Is that what we're doing? 15?
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's going to anger 2011 shooters more than spending $170 on a mag to load 15 bullets in it.
Right? Oh, man.
Look at it this way. You won't have to tune your followers. You can actually have real
Right.
followers in your gun. Your gun will magically get more reliable.
I didn't even have to clean my mags at race gun nats shooting limited 10, man. I just had to dump all my bullets out because I could never keep track of how many was in them. Just start over from zero on every. Yeah, just start over from zero on every stage with 10 bullets.
Well, dude, I thank you so much for coming on, man. I know you're freaking swamped and busy with everything, especially because I didn't realize it was this close. I can't believe you said yes at this point.
Oh, it's not an issue, man. I enjoy talking about the stuff. It's nice to just talk about it, and it's a good time.
So, are we going to have a conversation after this on how we're both going to get some bolt guns and try this manual bolt action for the match?
I mean, could you just like put your gas block on backwards and have like a side charge AR? Would that be allowable?
They do make.
You were talking about the actual bolt division. Oh, okay.
So
wonder how soon I could get one.
We'll talk after this. Maybe I'll make a stupid decision to shoot that match before Area 5.
Nice.
All right, dude. Take this time. I want you to obviously pimp out whatever you need to pimp out. But please, guys, if you need any inspiration on how to better this sport, you need to be following Timmy. He's Tanfo Timmy on Instagram. It's actually Tanfo_Timmy, right?
Yes, sir.
Timmy with 2 M's for you Neanderthals that have seen it with 1.
Tiny? I don't get it.
Yeah. But take a moment. Tell us who needs to be who supports you in what you do.
Yeah. I would say first, if you have any questions, like shoot me a message on Instagram. I answer a lot of questions and I like to help. I really do. Like when I got into shooting, it was hard. There had not a lot of helpful people. It seemed like I learned a lot of stuff the hard way. So ask questions, man. If I can help you, I'm glad to. If I can't, oh well. But some of the companies that support me, I'd say some of my biggest ones, Brass Monkey Bullets. I've been shooting those since COVID. He was the only place with bullets in stock and shipped them same day. And he still ships them same day. Like phenomenal bullet company, great quality, great everything. Vortex Optics is another huge one. I've become a member of their shooting team, and they take really good care of me. And it's really cool to represent a company like that. You know, I had no idea they were kind of as small, like family wise as I thought. You know, they're a really close knit community there. It's really cool. So it made me I'm really proud to be sponsored by them. I mean, lots. Patriot Defense, they're my Tanpo specialists. They pretty much the only people that make Tanpo parts for aftermarket stuff in the United States. You want Tanpo stuff. They also are branching out with a lot of different CZ grips, making a lot of different aggressive grip textures for some other guns too. Very cool family business down in Texas, made in America. Cool business. Could kind of read the gamut of it, but Targets USA, Jason's always pioneering the next level of target stuff. Just super phenomenal, unrivaled rifle parts. They're the best rifle stuff around for 2-gun and 3-gun, in my opinion. F3 range carts. That's been a fun one. I just made some new 3D printed wheels for my range cart. Hilariously.
I saw them. They look very good.
Dude, it turned out awesome. BBS knockoffs. Cover Hunter's HD Gold too. Obviously, if you don't know Brian, you don't shoot enough matches. But one of the best guys in the sport. It's close enough. Huh? Appreciate the time you gave me to cover some of those.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I forgot my jersey sponsor. Oh man, that would be the worst. I'm looking at a picture of it. Michelle at MW Activewear, super responsive. She designs my jerseys for all the majors I do. It's incredibly easy. It's a no-brainer if you're looking for a custom jersey for yourself or for a match. MW Activewear on Instagram.
She also did the Northern Illinois jerseys this year.
Awesome.
So, well, dude, thank you so much for coming on, man. I appreciate it. I wish you nothing but the best for Multigun and your new match directing roles and headaches. And if you need anything from me, dude, any way I can help you in any sort, you know how to get a hold of me.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening. That's it for this week, guys. You know what to do when to do it. pewtimepodcast@gmail.com, at Laugh and Load and all the things. And Jackie and I will talk to you next week. Timmy, I'll talk to you later, bro.
Sounds good. Thank you.